What is Waffle House Dynamo, I hear you ask? First, I'm gonna need you to pull up to the Waffle House day one with a refresher in your pocket. Next, you'll need to get ready to fight at the drop of a hat. Finally, we mark them with the double suck to get the spaghetti cubed. More likely than not, it does end with your ass beat up and left out back by the dumpster that they do dab hits by. To embody the essence of a Waffle House Dynamo, it is a simple process to work towards. We start with a base of Trophy Collector to let them know even with nothing to our name, we are still in the business of kicking ass. Then you save your pocket money to invest in the magical mouse tool known as Refresher. With this basic setup, you reach the first stage of enlightenment, Refresher Dynamo. I can hear you now. What is Refresher Dynamo? Refresher Dynamo is a personal insult to the entire enemy team. It's the equivalent of spitting in their face and telling them you mistook their attempts at having fun for a direct threat on your life. The important factor for Refresher Dynamo being as big of a nuisance as it is buying it as soon as you physically can. Normally, only getting a trophy collector beforehand, or maybe a couple more $800 items. So if the enemy sees your build, they'll assume that, you're normal. You're a regular guy. Even with just trophy collector, you can be a valuable asset to your team. Each of Dynamo's abilities have so much utility, it's crazy. For instance, an ability that often gets forgotten about, the Quantum Teleportation. Able to instantly remove all teammates from the board, negating some powerful things an enemy could throw out. Before they even know what's happening, while they try to adjust to playing against peak Dynamo gameplay, that's when you've saved up enough. And then they get hit with the binary black hole blast. Getting their souls sucked out of them twice in quick succession is a guaranteed way to leave them a husk. And due to the slow reaction time of the results of fetal alcohol syndrome on your team, it gives them plenty of time to pull their heads out of their asses to help you devastate anyone who can't accept the true form of God's rotundity. You may be asking, why would you rush it when it is barely applicable? I respond with a question of my own. What if it's the only thing between you and a crushing defeat? We lost this game, by the way. Once you get Refresher, it's your job to be as big of a menace as you possibly can. Poking and hanging around to deny the enemy as many kills as possible. Then, once provoked, it's your God-given right to bear arms against the freak, or more accurately, throw a hot waffle iron over the counter. While they're knocked on their ass, you shout for the grill cook who quickly approaches. When they get up, upset over the waffle iron, but now aware of that threat, wham! Cast iron pan thrown like a frisbee at the shin. They fall to the ground as backup arrives, then it's lights out for whoever tried to swing first. Ignore that we instigated the fight. But that instigation is where the fun of life is, the banter that comes from the pure inputs into the server from both parties. A dance of key smashes and button presses. In this flurry of gamer-on-gamer violence is an art form. You need to find the line between rotund friend and mild annoyance, and use it as a jump rope. From here, you wait until you're all refreshed. You come in through the side door after smoking a joint with your coworker. You have your steel-tipped boots ready, your Benjamin stashed, and your phone fully charged. Once all the stars align, it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. When someone crosses a boundary I arbitrarily set in my mind, and say nothing about it, then you pounce like a priest at a preschool after Lent. But when you go in, there will normally be people caught in the blast, but our fists are more of a for whom it may concern. The aftermath may be brutal, but you need to remember that you can't be known as a bitch if your opponent's lifeless in a ditch. This simple guide can help you become a true Waffle House Dynamo. I will say it won't help you pass Waffle School, that's separate. There lies a fundamental flaw with Waffle House Dynamo. Once you pull your tricks out of your hat, they learn to adapt. I mean, when a server throws a waffle iron at you. You kind of remember that, in the same way you would if you got food poisoning from something. This is when you start adding some pizzazz with the All-Star Special, with warp stones as the hash browns, and then some fun active items as the topping. So, you get your warp stone dropped, scattered, smothered, chunked, and peppered. Because each topping, when combined with scattered warp stone, adds a special flavor which complements the notes of teleporting onto someone. With the waffle, you help ensure that your big ol' belly move covers as much ground as possible, with little blueberry bits of duration extender to help you savor every bite of the enemy team. For your choice of meat, you can either get bacon, ham, or sausage. Each has its merit, but I go for bacon as it's too classic not to get. The meat is a hearty addition, which makes sure you have enough grit to see this through to the finish line. Even though normally you aren't the winner of the race, it's important to drag yourself across. It's our right as a sentient species to learn and grow with failure, and to have the willpower to pick yourselves up, because we will push through. It's what humans are best at. With all these flavors, the egg is important to balance out the more savory and salty flavors we have on our plate. This is where you can choose how you want your eggs. Whether you want them a bit more runny or well-cooked yolk, or maybe even you want a bit of scrambled eggs. Cheese is 50 cents extra. With your All-Star Special ordered and called out, it's now time to dig in and learn firsthand why Waffle House is a cornerstone of the breakfast food, and how Dynamo represents the unkillable diner chain, ready to throw hands at a moment's notice. With your belly full, you can now get up, tip the server, and go back on your adventure, whenever or wherever that may be. And Dynamo will be there, but often coming directly at you to help the only way it knows how.